Okay, so this is going to be a different type of video, okay? I'm not going to have any type of music in the background. I don't want to have any intro because I don't want to necessarily distract from the topic at hand here. But there is one thing that's going to distract the crap out of me. So next door, there was a couple that lived there and they burnt down their apartment. And it's been a couple weeks, but now today, the day that I wanted to record this video, people are over there working. So you're going to hear a lot of thumping noises. You're going to hear a lot of drills. I am so sorry. I'm pretty sure the mic is going to pick it up. But if you do hear it, I promise there's no one in my basement. There's no one trapped in my closet. It's literally just them working on the apartment. But anyways, let's just dive into this. So let's talk about Dejounte Murray, okay? I want to get this out the way. This is not going to be necessarily a bashing Dejounte video, okay? I'm not going to sit here and just talk a bunch of trash. Obviously, I was pretty upset, especially when some of these things started coming out, the things that he's been saying. And I'm not cool with it. I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to be 100%. But this isn't something where I'm saying Dejounte Murray, this means he's a bad person, or this means that he just sucks as a human being or anything like that. No, it just means he's immature. He's very immature. And I think that that's very apparent. But let's go ahead and dive straight into this. So I did a video recently in which I was talking about this tweet in particular, where he says, "I feel free and I feel wanted. Best season along with being happy the way I promised." Now, I talked about this, and one thing that I said was Spurs fans should have saw this coming. And I said that a lot. I was like, this has happened before. He's always shown these tendencies. He's always been immature. And I didn't realize when saying that a lot of Spurs fans didn't know that. They didn't know that this was a actual thing. There was even Atlanta Hawks fans that messaged me and they were like, yo, I had no idea that his social media was popping like this. And I was like, wow, so maybe I shouldn't have just went at fans like this, because maybe they genuinely didn't know. So I thought that it would be a good idea to not only talk about the recent controversy, but to kind of go back and discuss a lot of things that I've discussed previously over the last years of having this channel, in which I've always been open. And it's very apparent. People have always known this. I'm not the biggest Dejounte Murray fan. I never have been, okay? I don't hate DJ, but I've never been a big DJ fan. And partly due to the fact that he's very immature. And he's not only has shown it on social media, but I think that it bleeds into real life. It bleeds into his own interpersonal relationships. And it bleeds into, controversy for the franchise in general. And I never liked it. I was never okay with it, and nothing's changed now. So this isn't necessarily me going from a high horse of, oh my God, I absolutely love DJ and now he just disappointed me. No, these tendencies have always been here. So, but that's besides the point. Look, I went through so many different things that's happened previously, and I started to realize, and I came to the conclusion that maybe DJ was never a Spur to begin with. Just maybe he just never was. But anyways, let's go ahead and do this. So obviously, let's start with this tweet, and then we're going to go all the way back. We're going to talk about this tweet. We're going to talk about the comments that he's made recently, and then we're going to go back in time a little bit. But right here, I feel free. I feel wanted. Best season along with being happy on the way I promised. This is obviously a shot at the San Antonio Spurs. DJ isn't dumb. He's not stupid. He knows exactly what he's doing here. It is a shot. It's to stir things up. It's a way to just take, a jab at the San Antonio Spurs and basically the fans. When he says, I feel free and I feel wanted, free, it's like free to do what? I mean, the Spurs are very open and allowing you to be yourself. The only thing that they expect out of you is to be mature. I guess he's free to be immature. And then saying that I feel wanted. This is the main thing that Spurs fans didn't like, because they have supported him for so long and really put him on a pedestal after the whole Kawhi Leonard situation. He's basically the last, or was the last. Thanks for the sub, by the way. He's basically the last standing player since the whole Kawhi controversy, and it made fans even hold on to him even more after that. So yeah, so the I feel wanted, obviously fans would take contention with this. Now this is what I don't like, okay? After he tweeted this, he started to go after fans on Instagram. And there was quite a few people saying, well, the fans shouldn't have provoked him. And I don't think that that's necessarily true. I think that what happened was DJ posted this, and then he went searching for negative comments, because even under this post, and I went back and looked at it, there's a plethora of positive posts. Now, I don't know if that's the case right now, but at this time, it was a lot of positive posts from people. But what he chose to do was to look through the negative ones and respond to those. That just means that he wanted to say something, and he wanted an excuse to say it. Now, this, I'm sorry, if you're any type of Spurs fan, me personally, my thoughts on this is that you shouldn't excuse this at all. There is no, oh, this is his point of view. There is no, oh, well, he has a point. No, he doesn't. To say that the system is set up and you're going to be losing for the next 15 years, problem bigger than basketball, that sucks. That's just, to me, that's just kind of disgusting. That's trash to me. Because at the end of the day, there are a lot of players that he's played with. There's a lot of young guys on this team. And he's basically saying, like, yeah, they're not going to fix that franchise. They're just going to be trash forever. But what bothers me the most about this is he was in the franchise, and the Spurs fans and the Spurs seemed as if they wanted to at least invest in him as a future piece. But if he never really bought into the system to begin with, that he was never going to be great. He was never going to win a championship with the San Antonio Spurs. He just wasn't. But you know what? Let's just keep going. I digress. I want to kind of go back in time to show that DJ might have never even been a San Antonio Spur to begin with. If you guys recall, when he was first drafted by the San Antonio Spurs, he was not happy. He was not happy by any means. If you guys recall this, we took him at 29th back in 2016, and his reaction kind of shows everything.
Dejounte Murray from the University of Washington.
Dejounte Murray played a single season in Seattle for Lorenzo Romar, the second first-round pick to come from the Huskies tonight. Solid campaign statistically.
And afterwards, it was basically reported that he was not happy with how late he went in the draft, which is understandable, okay? Anybody would be a little upset, especially in his position where he was actually projected to be a lottery pick, if not right outside the lottery. But at the same time, while we can give these excuses, no other San Antonio Spur has reacted like this. Blake Wesley didn't do it. Malachi didn't do it. No one has reacted in this way. But Dejounte Murray did. I think that even early on, he shows some type of selfish tendency. Now, I wouldn't go in on this, and I haven't really discussed this a lot, only because he was a kid. And I didn't necessarily think that it's fair to get upset with a kid over reacting to something like this. Obviously, you need to grow over the years, and you know, become more of a man or adult, whatnot. And yeah, it's fine to have these type of tendencies young. But the problem is these tendencies never left. He's always kind of shown a certain amount of selfishness, a certain amount of immaturity. Now, moving on from that, something else that I wanted to discuss, and I know that this might be something that's a little more personal, but not really. So to show and kind of add on to the fact that he hasn't necessarily been embraceful when it comes to Spurs fans in general. Oh my God, those drills are so loud. Oh my God. Anyways, he hasn't been very embraceful when it comes to the San Antonio Spurs fan base. Is he actually blocked a lot of fan pages back in the day? If you guys don't recall, when he was first drafted, he immediately went onto social media and started blocking Spurs fan pages and Spurs fans. He did that to me right after he was drafted. I remember doing a video or doing a post in which I said, "Welcome to the San Antonio Spurs, DJ. Just happy that he's there." And, you know, like you do with anybody that you sign or draft, and he immediately blocked me. And I was in group chats with other fan pages as well, because obviously back at those times, you kind of bounce off of each other. You shout each other out a lot. And yeah, they said he did the same thing with them. No one said anything negative. No one was going at DJ at that young of age. He just decided to go to his social media and block all the Spurs fans, almost to say as if he didn't really want to be a Spur to begin with. But yeah, that was something that he definitely did. Now, moving on, when I said that a lot of his controversies when it comes to his social media presence shown itself when he takes shots at people in his interpersonal circle, it's absolutely true. If you guys don't recall, here's another instance in which Dejounte Murray took a shot at his former girlfriend, and it kind of got out of hand.
Now, Dejounte posted this on the gram. Gold diggers. Trash! Jilly was not having all that, okay? She responded on Twitter. Thank you. Next! Note to self, when the Lord gives you a sign, stop ignoring that MF. A dude will be quick to call you a gold digger, but has never paid a single bill. Doesn't pay my rent, car note, phone bill. The list goes on and on. Gold digger where? Miss me with that ish. Then, one of her girls hopped on Twitter to defend, saying, girl, you are most deaf not one. You have always had your own. And Jilly responded, of course, saying, just pure ignorance. I hate that I even have to entertain such stupidity, but when a little boy wants to speak falsely of my character, that's another story.
Now, the thing about this is he took shots at her, and I'm not going to sit here and like talk deeply about their relationship, okay, their previous relationship. I don't care. But I will say this, I think that it also just shows a certain amount of immaturity. Now, the reason why I brought this up is because a lot of people have to do damage control after he's done certain things, when he's put certain things out. And if you guys don't recall, Jilly, she actually went to Instagram, and she was well known. She's still well known. But at the time when she was called a gold digger, there was a lot of people attacking her on the internet, and she had to defend herself. She had to defend her character. And I think that that's just a little too far. It's just out of line, especially when you're a celebrity like DJ. Attacking people that's in your interpersonal circle like that publicly is just not right. But this was her defending herself on Instagram after the aftermath of all that.
I mean, I'm just like almost at a loss for words. Have you ever been in a situation with someone and because things went left, they say something that they wouldn't have said yesterday? Because I feel like that's the predicament I'm in right now. That's exactly what's going on. I've never heard this out this person's mouth ever. And now, because things have gone left, I'm a gold digger. I will say, when you focus on yourself and don't give somebody what they want, such as giving up on yourself, bowing down to them, spending less time with them, it makes them feel a certain way about you. But I have never belittled myself in a sense of I've always focused on my career, which means at times it would be longer periods of times without being with that person. But since I'm so focused on getting my own, I'm this awful person.
So, yeah. So, as you can see there, I do recall this. And going back, I was like, dude, I forgot. I completely forgot about this. But, yeah, Jilly had to kind of defend herself. And it was completely out of whack. It was random. And it was a lot of people that I recall kind of going at her and saying, you just want money. And being called a gold digger, it's really damaging, especially someone like her who also had her own brand. Is damaging to your brand when you're kind of called that. So it was quite a few people going at her after that. But you know what? It doesn't really stop there. And this is something that I didn't necessarily want to bring up because since then they have kind of came back together and everything's good now. But this was another controversy. DJ actually took to Twitter to talk about his father, in which he said his dad was never there for him, that he just had to do it all on his own. And he basically went back and forth with his dad on this, in which his dad ended up releasing a whole 43-minute video talking about how he was there in DJ's life.
I keep all type of pictures of my son. You know what I'm saying? Him and Jamal Crawford. Oh, you remember this? When he went with LeBron James. This was his first time when he met LeBron James at the LeBron James camp. You know, he went to the KD camp. I kept everything. I got every videotape, every newspaper. This is just a little glimpse of different shit that I got. Just for the people that just viewed in. This is 03, 04. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. If I was a deadbeat, the nigga wouldn't have pulled up to my house. Dad, you deserve to have this. Right here. Come on now.
So when he attacked his character, obviously this is another situation in which someone had to go online and defend their character. Now, since then, obviously DJ and his dad have made up, and I was completely happy with that. Like, obviously we've talked about it. It's a beautiful thing. But at the time, this is just me saying that, or showing that he has taken shots previously before. He has damaged relationships previously before. He is no stranger to this, and this new controversy is basically pretty minimal if you think about some of the things that's happened previously. But there's more, okay? Now, that was a lot of interpersonal things, but there's something in particular that I probably take the most contention with. This is one thing that I really didn't like when it happened. So I found this forum because I was like, is there anyone else talking about it? I didn't want to just show my video talking about it. But I did find this forum on Spurs Talk in which Dejounte Murray deleted Spurs from his bio on Instagram. But there's more to that. So a lot of people in the comments I noticed were saying, or in this blog or whatever you call this. What do you call these anymore? I don't know. I haven't been on these in forever. Anyways, there was quite a few people talking about like, hey man, where did this come from? Why did he do that? Why did he delete the Spurs out of his bio? Well, I can tell you because I was there. Okay. I paid attention to everything. It was actually after LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan said that they prefer Derek White as their point guard because the season prior, he knew their spots. He knew how to get them involved, and at the time he was just kind of a better point guard, and they just wanted him to start at the time and DJ to kind of come off the bench, in which that's what Pop did. He put DJ on the bench, but afterwards DJ not only deleted Spurs from his bio on Instagram, he also started to unfollow a lot of the players on the team. I remember he unfollowed Patty Mills, unfollowed Derek White. He unfollowed a lot of Spurs players almost to kind of distance himself from the San Antonio Spurs in general. But not only that, there's other instances in which he has shown that he is not necessarily a team player. If you guys recall, DJ also did a cringe emoji once we drafted our boy Josh Primo. And I said at the time that I was not happy with it, that I thought that it was just going too far. And I thought that when you work with this, young kid and you're definitely the leader of the team, I don't think that you should be taking any type of shots at of the player that we just drafted. Now afterwards, DJ even went on to Instagram once again, found some negative post on it, and he said that got nothing to do with anyone. If a name isn't on it, y'all gotta chill on the internet. So obviously that's low-key gaslighting, okay? Because Josh Primo was drafted and then DJ immediately posted this. Everyone knew who he was talking about, and it was no one's dumb, okay? It was very obvious what he was talking about. But as you can see, showing more immaturity. And I know that this is getting exhausting at this point, but I do just want to get through all the points, okay? It is a lot because a lot of people just don't know. Another thing too, after he didn't win MIP, he kind of showed some of those selfish tendencies once again when he shown that he cared more about his own awards than congratulating others. Now that's how I took it. After MIP went to Josh Primo, oh my God, Ja Morant, he immediately posted this, in which he posted his own stats, his own accomplishments, and basically saying, I deserved it. Now, sure enough, I didn't think Josh should have got it. I do believe that DJ should have got it. But doing this in particular, I gave an analogy at the time in which I said, what if we were watching the Oscars and literally Denzel Washington won an award, okay? And then afterwards, Leonardo DiCaprio went on Twitter and posted all of his accomplishments and all of the movies that he starred in. I think most people would take contention with that. Most people would sit back and say, you're making this more about you. You're saying that Denzel didn't earn the award, and you're the one who definitely deserved it. Even if we keep it even smaller, okay? Let's just say that you guys at your work, you win, I don't know, employee of the month, right? And then one of your coworkers goes to Facebook and starts talking about everything that they did to, you know, earn employee of the month. I'm pretty sure you would have a problem with it. But that's besides the point. Whatever. Let's go ahead and move on from that. Not only did this happen, it was some more controversy as well. Another instance in which him not being happy about winning an individual award was all defensive team. Once again, I do believe that he should have won it, but he took to Instagram and basically went off on a few tangents. But this is one of the tangents. We all know them lame awards are really playoff awards instead of regular season awards. Ha 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 ha. They can't play on my name for too much longer. Not that big a deal. Not something that's crazy. Just something that's out there. Okay, just out there. But anyways, let's move on. Now, here's another instance in which DJ has taken shots at his relationships and his interpersonal circles. So this was a shot that he took at his new girl, Jania, in which there was a huge backlash from this as well.
Now, Dejounte actually decided to post as well, clearing up the rumors as well. And he also decided to reveal a little bit about, you know, him and Jania's breakup. He posted and said, "I knew my baby mama ain't make that fake a post. What's even more sick is that me and old girl broke up from that because she said that she believes that it was all true. And when my baby mother said that it was fake, she ain't have nothing to say. I stand on real principles, and Shawty could have just said that she wanted to go elsewhere and wanted to be back outside since it's the summer. Just had to throw that out there, though. Real men that treat girls like queens always lose. Back to just my daughter in the grind, though. There's the attention y'all be wanting." Now,
and as you can see, the reason why I'm showing all this, because I know it's exhausting. I know it's ridiculous. And I don't even know if you got to this part of the video. But the reason why I'm showing all this is because it's just showing that he's more so concerned with his own fame. he's more so concerned with his own sense of notoriety as far as his social media presence. This was so unnecessary. And even after this, I believe they end up getting back together. I don't know. I don't keep up with that like crazy, but yeah, it was ridiculous to say that she just wanted to go back outside since it's the summer. I mean, it's just blatantly taking shots at her, you know, for the sake of taking shots. And while it seems as if she's pretty immature at times too. It just kind of shows that DJ never really grown out of that. Even way back with the Jania stuff, it still kind of shows itself today. But moving forward, there's some other things to talk about. Obviously, there was the middle finger that he put up on Instagram, which was very cryptic, in which he was talking about Jania. We ended up finding that out. But that's not something that I really wanted to highlight. This is what I really want to highlight. This is one of the shots. Earlier I said that he not only takes shots during interpersonal relationships or with interpersonal relationships, he takes shots with management, and he's taken shots at the Spurs before as well. So as we can see here, Udoka, when he went to the Celtics, DJ says, or he didn't go to the Celtics, I think he went to the finals. DJ says, "I always believed in you just like you always believed in me, even when you know who didn't really believe in me. Let's go." Now, what we can go ahead and assume who he's talking about here is he was talking about the Spurs organization, probably in particular Brian Wright. I'm just going to make that assumption at this point after everything's kind of come out. But yeah, he took a shot at the Spurs. He took a shot at the front office. And I'm sorry, guys, you can say that this is justified all you want. But at the end of the day, when you're the face of the franchise or you're the face of the San Antonio Spurs, you have to show some type of leadership and some type of restraint. And this is not that restraint to basically just insinuate that, yeah, someone in the front office doesn't believe in him. That's ridiculous. But moving on, there's more. There's way too much. I talked about this, and a lot of people went into me and said, "Hey, man, I think you're looking too into it." And I don't think so. So he did a recent press conference with the Atlanta Hawks in which he brought up a lot of things. He kind of dry snitched on himself just a little bit, okay? So one thing that he brought up, and I'm not going to play this, but one thing he brought up in particular is that he has been talking to Trae Young all along. He was talking to Trae Young for multiple weeks leading up to his trade. And he even told Trae Young that he's definitely going to get traded to the Atlanta Hawks. And he knew that. Now, I don't have a problem with that at all, him discussing this with Trae Young. But I do have a problem with this because if you guys recall, around this time after he either asked for a trade or at least talked to the San Antonio Spurs about a trade and started communications with Trae Young, he went to social media and started pretending as if he had no idea what was going on. He posted the when it was some type of package that the Spurs wanted for Murray. He said, believe in yourself. And he did a lot of cryptic messages here. He said, can't wait, in which he didn't even have a jersey on. He posted this, and it was also quite a few that he ended up deleting, which I'm just going to assume that the San Antonio Spurs got involved and said, hey, delete this. But he posted some that said, hey, man, all these trade rumors, leave me alone. Stop with all the trade rumors, blah, blah, blah. But the reason why I personally didn't like that was because it felt as if he was making fun of the fans. He was just playing with the fans, and that's not respect for the fans. So he can go back and say that he has love for the fans and that he's always shown that love, but he hasn't. This is just another instance in which he does not respect San Antonio Spurs fans at all, like at all. But moving on, there's a few more, okay? One thing that I noticed, and just to kind of add on, there's just a couple more points that I wanted to talk about, is that I never thought that Dejounte Murray necessarily integrated himself in San Antonio. Now, I don't think that this is something you absolutely have to do, but if you pay attention to other stars around the NBA, usually they begin to integrate themselves in the city to some degree. Ja Morant, at this point, he is Memphis, okay? Steph Curry, he is Golden State. Like there's nothing there. There's no distinction between it. Like they are that city, right? But when it comes to Dejounte, I never really felt as if he integrated himself in San Antonio. I tried to find, and look, I'm not saying that this is something you absolutely have to do, okay? And these players aren't obligated to do a charity work or anything like that. But I tried my best to find anything that showed that Dejounte Murray was giving back to San Antonio or that he was heavy involved in San Antonio. And there's not much there. The only thing that I found was back in 2017 when he was giving away shoes, which I think he still does that to less privileged kids, and that's great. But this is the only thing I could really find. And I'm sure there's more out there, but just a disclaimer, me doing my research, this is all I could really find. But I wanted to add on to this because adding on to the fact that is he even a San Antonio Spur, you never really saw him out with Spurs players at all. When it came to HEB commercials, those are voluntary, he wasn't there. And when it came to hanging out with fellow teammates, he wasn't there. And I just noticed that so often. And I never really commented on this in particular because I just didn't want anyone to really believe or think that I'm just going like overboard about this because I already got the name as a DJ hater. Like people already called me that. I already have that reputation. But I have noticed that when the guys are out hanging, when there's videos, even on Spurs official account, which this isn't Spurs official account, obviously, but he's never there. He's never with the team. He's never hanging with them. He's always kind of doing his own thing. And that's why not too long ago, about a week or two ago, I made it in comparison to Kawhi Leonard in that regard, in which Kawhi didn't really hang out with the guys a lot either, but he did at some degree integrate himself with San Antonio, with the culture. But that is not the case with your boy DJ. He was not hanging with the boys often at all. I did not see that at all. So you guys let me know what you think. I just wanted to go through everything. I know that this is a lengthy video. I know it seems petty at this point, but I did want to at least just go through all of the history here so people can see that this didn't come out of nowhere, okay? This is something that's been here forever. He's always shown this immaturity. He's always been like this. And me personally, I'm happy he's gone, okay? I'm happy he's no longer a San Antonio Spur because things like this isn't what the Spurs are about. It's very disrespectful. It's an attack on the franchise. And You can say like, oh, well, maybe he did it for this reason, maybe he did it for that reason. No, look, I'm a Spurs fan. I don't care about all that. So anyways, I'll get with you guys later, man. If you want to support the channel, it's only $2 per month. Patreon and YouTube links below. Until next time, bye.